Hey everybody, welcome back, or welcome in if you're new here. Get comfy, get cozy. We're taking a look at Rose Quirky Love Rosie's live from she got up at 3 o'clock in the morning and made herself a giant quesadilla, two half quesadillas, and and a popcorn snack, and ate that at 3 o'clock in the morning. And her her chat caught her in a lie. I'm going to say it's a lie. I'm not sure. I can't prove that it's a lie, but it really feels like a lie. So we'll take a look at that in a second. My overall sort of like thesis for this episode is that she's really got a diagnosis for everything. So if she's inappropriately excited about being part of a documentary that's actually kind of dark and has dark subject matter, it's because she was hypomanic. And if she's angry and snippy and snappy and rude to people, it's because she has PMDD. And if she posted poetry indicating that her mother is no longer with us, it's because she was in psychosis or she has memory issues. So she'll never actually own anything, and there's a diagnosis for everything. So thank you so much to all of my subscribers and all of my members. I really appreciate your support. If you feel like liking and subscribing, that would be amazing. For every like, I'll make you a microwave popcorn. And for every subscribe, I will scissor a built puff bar into it.
A whirlwind of a time in my life. And I am not even just talking about the docuseries. It has been crazy. Like, actual insanity. Sorry, it's like 3 o'clock in the morning, so technically yesterday, right? I cannot speak on it. But something so insane happened yesterday in my life that has nothing to do with the docuseries and has actually been in the works since technically well over a year, closer to 2 years, but more specifically, like 7 months ago. Can I do math? It's either 7 or 8 months. So it's a really big deal, and the timing is insane. I wish I could tell you guys more, but if you are hoping for my success in life, I would like to ask for like prayers and good vibes, because if this happens for me, everything's gonna change. So that's all I'm gonna say.
So I don't think that she's like going on my 600-pound life. I'm not. I don't think that that's the thing. I'm not even sure if that's a show anymore because I think Dr. Now is like done with that. I think they've moved on. But I definitely, I can say with some, no authority, just vibes, that she's probably booked some type of reality show. That is my feeling, because it is so her, like being herself, being a mess on camera is just, it's just who she is, and it's a perfect fit.
Happy Pride Month, y'all! And I'm just gonna take a minute because I was thinking about this. Hold on, I don't want to talk about this with my mouth full. Give me a second. I was running my mouth when I really would have benefited from being quieter, but I was.
So she didn't want to talk about Pride Month while she had food in her mouth, which was kind of her. She, we spend the rest of this episode becoming intimately familiar with everything that goes into her mouth and everything that happens to it after that moment.
During the day I went live, like the day after, was about 3 or 4 days after that. I was essentially incapacitated. Like, I was like barely able to get out of bed. Because what I will say is this: in 2024, I had gotten established with a gyno, and I was starting the process of trying to get my PMDD diagnosed. And the thing about that is, because of my size, my experience with that is very inconsistent. So it's been a long time since something like that has happened. And so, like, yeah, when I made that Girl World video, I was absolutely PMSing. However, I stand on business with what I said. I don't regret it. And I haven't looked at the comments, and I don't give a fuck what anybody has to say on that topic specifically. So I think that and a couple other things may not have happened if I could have controlled my irritability, to be honest. But I said what I said, I meant what I said, and I'm not taking it back. I mean, just look at the comment sections and you'd understand why. So it's been
The dry shampoo is my new favorite side character.
A really insane time for me, because there are people who have absolutely nothing to do with the project who are trying really hard to make themselves relevant right now to it because it's such a popular topic in spaces where they feel like they have some kind of claim. While at the same time, everyone is giving me so much shit for like, why are you there? Why are you involved? You were never at the house, blah, 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 blah. When they've only seen a single quote from me, and really ultimately, I guess the only thing I got to say to that is people are asking the wrong question. People are keep asking, why is she there? When really, it's the when and the how of it all that I can't get into because of NDAs.
Ooh, a riddle. The game is afoot.
So, and also, because I feel like I said something in one of the first lives, and I've noticed some people involved in the project have started putting some things together. And because I said it innocently, I didn't think too much of it. But I guess what I will say, I can't wait to watch the project to kind of get a full scope of what's happening, because I'm going to have a lot to say once I know that information. This is so good, by the way. I love this snack. It's so good. I am still planning to do streams on Fridays, 6 p.m., up to 4 a month. However, I'm only guaranteeing 2 a month moving forward. I'm giving people ample time to decide if that's an issue for them. If you are an actual paying member, I'm going to be very blunt about something. When it comes to the topic of my memberships, if you're not a member, I'm not interested in your opinion on my members' content. I'm just not. And that's not to be disrespectful. That's not to say I don't value you as a viewer, because of course I do. That's why I do the public lives. That's why most of my content is publicly accessible. But what I've started noticing happening was every time I was trying to accommodate when like I was going through stuff, like when I was literally this past week barely able to get out of bed because I was experiencing symptoms related to my cycle that were so severe I could barely function. I was being called a scammer. Invited that day by Paola to be in her TikTok live, and in DMs I originally told her no because I canceled the live and I knew I was going to get some bullshit. And then I go into the live and I'm sitting there and I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. Like, it is not the same thing for me to sit here and look presentable and be in a horizontal format with my whole setup and versus laying in bed with like my chin up on camera with like, what was it? Like 6 other people
gave me. And we exchanged an article of clothing with each other. And I realized his tank top kind of would probably fit my Vaporeon. And it fits like a dress.
Like, and just occasionally speaking, where I'm not the center of attention as I am here, not the same thing. It's not the same thing. And I really appreciate, because the thing is I also knew at that point my actual members weren't complaining. It was only trolls that were trying to weaponize something to make me out as a scammer.
I think it's okay with the unpredictability of her body and her ability to engage with getting up and getting around, for her to say like you get 2 lives a week or something like that. I think that's okay. I don't think she needs to put out a schedule because obviously it's not something that she's able to follow. She's able to go live a bunch. She's just not able to do it at specific times. And I feel like that if you know Rosie and you're following her and you're giving her money and you support her, I think that you could probably be okay with that. I think the issue lies in someone has an opinion about it and someone feels a kind of way about it and and they express it and immediately she gives it all this attention and lets herself get fired up and her ego get all bruised. And the reality is like you just don't I say this all the time, like you don't have to attend every argument you are invited to. I'm also membered up to several channels just because I support them and I don't know their schedules. If they are off schedule, if they miss something, I have enough going on in my day to like not really notice. But again, if I'm really excited about somebody and they're like, oh, I'm gonna go live tonight, and so I like move things around or I decide not to do something or I push things, if I then they don't go live, I understand the disappointment. I also have members and I don't do membership lives because I am bad at being live. It's not. It's a skill that some people are extremely good at being live. I'm not. I'm not. It's something that I need to build up to. So I'm good. That's something I'm going to work on.
Part of the reason I plan to be a member is to support a disabled creator. You are doing your best. Well, Amy, that's really sweet. Thank you. Well, I mean, your opinion on the newest video is your opinion. That's your opinion. I have more exclusive content coming. I chose to do the soundtrack one first. Excuse me. And the uncensored Texas content is going to include clips that were originally censored that are now uncensored, so you can see them. So you can see Remy in them. But it's also going to include exclusive stuff. But again, to explain like what I just said. But I don't. I seriously, I would need to grab my computer, and my boyfriend's sleeping, so I don't want to bring it out here.
So at first I thought she said my boyfriend, but she meant my brother, and she didn't want to like rustle around in a room and wake Levi up. But I'm pretty sure that Remy is in her room on her computer, like sleeping over Discord, and her going in there would wake him up. Which is, I think at first I was like, what? But now I'm like, okay, you know what? If you're in a long distance relationship and you miss each other, I think that might be, I guess, kind of nice to spend time together. Um, Before we got married, my husband and I were medium distance. But still feel like at the end of the day, I was okay kind of like turning devices off and not. I just think you do kind of need to be, when you're in a relationship, you do kind of need to be alone. You need to be okay with yourself. I feel like, whatever. I'm not judging and I'm not part of this relationship, but I think if you're sleeping together every night like that, I think it's just it's healthy to learn to be a person on your own and be 100% a person, and then you join another person who is also 100% a person on their own, and then you're together, and then when you're apart, you're okay and you love your life. Like that to me is kind of ideal and healthy. But who's ideal and who's healthy? None of us.
So at the end of the day, I'm a human being, and I fuck up, right? And so if I'm wrong here and I just fucked up, then like I do owe you an apology. Period. Okay, understood, Misty. I wish you well.
See, so she's like, "Hey, I'll apologize. I apologize." Like that kind of honesty and just like blatant, like egoless, like if I owe you an apology, I'll give you an apology. But she doesn't know what she's apologizing for right now. And I think if she did have that in front of her, we would not be getting that energy. We would not be getting that energy. We would be getting snippy and snipey, and you are coming at me, and I am a victim, and you are ableist, and I have conditions. That's what we would be getting. But since she doesn't know what she's apologizing for, she's just apologizing. That's it. That's the Rosalind difference.
Whereas ultimately, at the end of the day, what more people need to realize is that not every moment of every piece of content is like geared towards you specifically, and that's something like, it's like if I'm watching something and I don't like something or something's bothering me, but I still like the creator, I'll leave for a minute and come back later. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna like stop eating my popcorn just because someone doesn't like my jaw clicking. Like I can't help that my jaw clicks. Like it's quite literally out of my control.
I agree that it is out of your control that your jaw clicks when you eat. I think that it is inconsiderate to, when people are here to talk and talk to you and engage with you, that you're doing it with your mouth full. That's most people are raised to know that you don't do that you don't talk with your mouth full, that you don't eat while you're talking. And 100% of your content is eating or cooking and then eating the thing you cooked and talking with people. So I guess it is very weird that people do engage with you when they have misophonia, because there is a lot of like chewing and chomping and smacking. But then you also have to ask, okay, well then who is here for that? These are all part of a conversation that you're not ready to have.
Because my initial reaction was like, oh my God, like something I've been a part of for 2 years is finally out. Like this is a moment for me. But it's not entirely about me at the same time, right? So it's like it's just something I'm a part of. And I'm choosing to keep taking shit on the chin instead of making it about me, which I could very easily do. Why are you guys asking me about Amber? Like, I already told y'all I'm not discussing her anymore. Like, this is about me. Like, no hate to her. But like, it's just like, not everything's about girl world, dude. I had like a really good, supportive, like healthy relationship with my parents because we had a lot of shit to figure out. And I'm so grateful for that because now, you know, I'm in a situation where I really have like a tight knit, supportive system that I can trust. And I've kind of been coming to the realization that like I didn't even really know what that felt like until recently. And I'm so grateful for that because like my parents obviously have always loved me and wanted what was best for me, but all of us had a lot of work to do and figure out and healing to do. And we've hit that equilibrium and I'm so grateful for it, you know?
So this is just obviously this is all observation speculation because I'm not inside of her family. But whenever she talks about her family working on things, which by the way is none of our business. It's absolutely none of our business. This is and that's an extraordinarily private thing. Your family going into like therapy is so fucking private and you're sharing that. And that is on you. So I'm going to talk about it. But it never feels like she ever admits any wrongdoing when talking about her family. It feels like she describes her parents as putting in the work to be better, to give her what she needs, and she never admits any wrongdoing of her own. She never brings in any actual like growth that she's had to do. It's always people around her getting better for her.
Mom who saw that for what it was, you know? Like the reason she got a psychology degree is because of like me and my brother, you know? The issues that, the different issues, but like the issues that we had as kids.
Man, your mom got a whole ass degree to deal with your bullshit. What are you doing? What have you done? What steps are you taking? Literally what are you doing other than eating a quesadilla at 3 o'clock in the morning? Literally. Today starts today, girl. So anyway, speaking of, someone in the chat brings up the information that is going around about one of her old accounts where she suggested that her mother was no longer with us. The specific comment says, just curious, I've been seeing posts circulating that you claimed your mom passed away on an old IG account. I hope you never said that, and it's a troll, but the receipts seem legit. I have not seen any receipts. I have nothing more to add to this discussion other than the conversations and her reaction, and that's it.
What? That never happened. Can you forward me the receipts? What the fuck? What? I need to see receipts of that. That did not happen. There's no fucking way. I would never do that. What the fuck? That sounds fake. There's no way. I've talked about my granddie dying. My mom's mom. What the fuck? Fucking hate girl world anyway.
The amount of ape shit she's going is directly correlated to how true this rumor probably is. I don't have receipts. I haven't seen anything. I'm basing this entirely on her reaction, and her reaction tells me that this is an absolute real thing, and That's all. Literally, all I'm basing it on is the way that she is reacting, which is ape shit. This goes on for 15 minutes. Like it's she's been pegged. She's been pegged.
Would I have done something like that in psychosis? That I don't remember? There's no way. There's no fucking way that's real.
She's got a diagnosis for every occasion.
That account only had a couple attempts at poetry that I deleted because I just didn't like them. They were bad. Yeah. That my original username on that account was Fat Rose Phoenix, right? Yeah. Yeah, I have to say, I think that, I mean, I haven't seen the receipts yet. I have to say that that's AI. That's crazy. I would never lie about my mom dying for attention. That's disgusting. No one emailed me. I actually spent some time Googling, and I didn't find anything on Google either. I'm of the opinion this sounds like made up AI garbage, but I haven't seen the receipts, so I'm not going to say anything definitively because at the end of the day, I'm someone who's been very mentally ill on the internet, and I don't know unless I've seen it to understand what's happening, and I'm of the opinion it's not real. Do you got any sense to not care about internet trolls but play along? I mean, that's my real life. That's an insane accusation. I love my mom so much. The thought of her dying terrifies me, and I would never put that kind of karma out there.
So I just can't. I can't. I don't believe her. I that is, I guess, a serious accusation. If it's bullshit, then why are you doing all this? Why are you jumping through hoops? Why are you crying? Like it's if someone said something that's bullshit and can't be proved, why did you turn the camera away to like work up some tears? What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you actually doing? And I've definitely mentioned before that if we are twisting things, if we are cherry picking things to fit some sort of narrative, feel free to correct, set me on the right path. Tell me what it is that I've got wrong and, be specific about things and I'm happy to listen. But it's also just like, this is not setting people on the right path. Like, this is letting people know that they've got your number. That's what it is.
Ways a backup account. Like, I never post.
You might want to start saving some of those hairs and send them to Amber Lynn so she can use them in her voodoo doll.
Very much on it. And I use, so for a long time I had that user, so because I was Quirkyloverosee for a long time, and then when all the fat people hate stuff blew up, r/fat people hate back in like, I think I left the internet January 2016 or like December 2015, somewhere in that range. And I deleted that Instagram account. I had hit 10K, which back then was kind of crazy, especially for someone like of my size. And I eventually like came back, and when I came back, I think initially I had a different username that was similar, but for a long period of time, my username was Fat Rose Phoenix. And eventually, I decided, I think it was in 2023. I was like, I don't want fat in my username anymore. Like, I don't want that to be like literally an identifier that's like the first thing you see when you see me on the internet. but I wasn't ready to let it go. So when I changed my username back to Quirky Love Rose to like kind of reclaim it in a way, and kind of go with that, because I originally came up with this username in 2013. I immediately, because of trolls and stuff, I let go of the Fat Rose Phoenix username, and I moved it over to the second account as like a placeholder, like in case I changed my mind and I wanted to do anything with it in the future. Fairly recently, before I told the internet about my poetry account, I spent a couple weeks just posting poetry and just like, because I've been writing off and on with a lot of seriousness for 6 years, but I didn't share a lot of it. And
There's the entire history of all of her usernames. I think it was also just one of those run-on sentences that she likes to fall into when she's cornered. She definitely goes into run-on sentences so that you completely forget what you're talking about and zone out. She's very good at it.
let's just shake it off. In an IV, I don't know if it was a transfusion. Actually, I'm not going to speak on that. I might be wrong. But I did something where I had to get medication administered in a similar way. I think it was only for an hour. It was really chill. They give you a little snack. You can play on your phone. Where I went, they had all these chairs set up, and you just kind of like chilled when they put it in. So, and I've got really bad veins. So, I hope that your experience was similar to mine, like a very much like a laid back, not serious issue. Now, I don't know potential like side effects and stuff like that for your specific issue, but I'm sending you lots of love and light. I hope that it goes well and that you have no issues.
I think she's talking about the time she got an iron infusion for her anemia, and I really, really hope that she is taking care of her anemia, that she's taking something for it, because it can account for a lot of your fatigue. It can account for itchy skin and brittle nails and fatigue and knocking you on your ass and aches and pains. There are so dizziness, fogginess. Like there are so like it's one of those things that she like actually has that she rarely brings up or talks about treating, and it I feel like it would help so much. It would help her feel so much better if she took care of it. But yeah, she talks about getting like one bag of iron when someone in the chat is talking about their 4 hour infusion for like a very serious actual like chronic condition. Um, but yeah, she's like whatever, being supportive. It's fine. It's fine. You don't need. I mean, it's her show. She can censor herself all she wants. But I keep forgetting to bring this up. I really really hope she is taking care of. She's doing something about her iron.
Sending you good vibes, bro. To be clear to the person I blocked, when I was talking about teen drama, I was not talking about SA. Don't twist my fucking words. I was talking about stuff y'all know nothing about. So
she gets into it a little bit with chat. Someone kept saying something that wasn't maybe was I think asking in a much less kind way. And he finally got through where he said, "Have you tried a bit healthier lifestyle? I feel like it could really help your health in the long run, just saying." And someone else said, "I wish people wouldn't be so worried about others." Okay. Then someone else says, "What kind of support do you think you would need that would help you that you can't do on your own?" Good question. I'd like to know. And then someone else says, "Working on bettering yourself in what ways you're able is all that matters. One day at a time is all anyone can do." So just empty platitudes. And then someone else says, the same person who asked, "What kind of support do you think you need?" says, "I watch a lot of your stuff and I'm not trying to be mean." So I think it's a valid question. What kind of support do you think you need? What are you lacking outside of yourself and your own choices? What do you need? I think that that's an okay thing for someone to ask. She doesn't owe anybody an answer, but I do think that that's a valid question.
I mean, generally, when I go to the psych ward, it's because I can barely keep myself alive. I think, feeding myself when I need to accommodate myself is pretty good. But, you can keep being an ableist piece of shit if you need to.
So I couldn't find the comment that this was responding to, but yeah, her disability, according to her, is her PTSD. So just remember that anytime anyone challenges her in any way, They are ableist because she has PTSD. Now, I'm not saying that PTSD is not a disabling disorder and that trauma is not something that people have to recover from. I absolutely believe that. But when you're not doing fuck all to recover from it, but you keep using the label disabled without any caveat, without letting anybody know what you actually mean and that it's mental, not physical, you're letting everyone believe that there is something irreversibly wrong with your body. And that's fucked up. I have a very big problem with that. Okay? Are we clear on that?
When I used to try to eat ground turkey as a kid, God, I would love to do a steak live. That's gonna depend on. I don't have the budget for that. I would love to do a steak live. Are you kidding? I would love a steak live, but that is not in the budget.
Oh, wouldn't you all just love a steak live? Unfortunately, I just don't have the money for it. Chat. Tom and Amanda, are you guys up? You guys up? Can I set a goal? Can we maybe do like 5 blue donos to get me a steak dinner? Don't y'all want to watch me eat a steak? Don't you all want to watch me eat a steak? I'm sloppily eating a quesadilla right now. Why wouldn't you want to watch me eat a steak instead?
Like, yes, I have issues with food, but I honestly feel like I'm more of issues with myself and just my mental capacities and things like that. And I need access to a level of support I don't have right now. And I think that's kind of one of the reasons I devolved and stopped losing weight to begin with. It happened around the time. Like, I think it wasn't immediate. I would have to look back to know the exact months. Like, I don't think it was immediate, but it was like, because I tried keeping it up sometime after losing insurance, if I remember correctly. My timeline gets fuzzy for me often. But if I remember correctly, I don't think it was like, I lost insurance and then I gave up. It was like, I tried for some time. I wish people wouldn't be so worried about others. Yeah. I mean, I don't think that question is disrespectful. I just, I just think it can get ridiculous how often people they come in here for 5 seconds and look at me and decide they want to have a conversation about my health when I'm just like trying to talk about, like, I don't know, my favorite TV show or like what's going on in my life. You know what I mean?
So I actually feel her on this a little bit, and I do want to address this a little bit. So I have lived in a larger body most of my life, and not 500 pounds larger, but like 200 at a certain point, 300, and I feel this where there were many times when people would walk up to me and inappropriately start talking about dieting, and it just got really exhausting. It got really exhausting having to kind of answer for like, what are you doing right now? Like, what is your plan? What's the plan? What are you doing with your body? When it's like, I'm talking about, that's like not the conversation. Like, I just want to be a person. I just want to be a human being. But all people see is like the fat, and it's really fucking annoying. It is, and I feel her on that. But also, I think people see her, they see the sheer size of her, and it feels to me like an emergency. When I see her, it feels like an emergency. That, like, what is happening inside of your body, like what you are asking, what you are putting on your organs right now, it's an emergency. Your organs are screaming. You know, it's and she's like, but it's not my weight. It's all of these other things. It's this huge list of other things that are wrong with me. It's not my weight. I don't want to be defined by my weight. And it is just so hard to explain and to get through to someone like that. Because I was a person like that for a long time, where I was like, why can't people just love me like this? And I finally had a therapist say, do you love you like that? And the answer was no. So here's the thing, man. Like, it is hard to live in a body like that. It is hard to deal with people constantly wanting to talk to you about your diet. It gets fucking boring. But I also, like, I get it. Because it feels like an emergency. That's all.
Trying to get through my days right now. And I have some plans, but they are just not on everyone else's timeline. So without the proper supports in place, I will just keep repeating patterns that people will villainize me for. So I'm hoping that playing the long game works.
I say this from the bottom of my heart with actual love that I hope you have the long game to play. And I hope that this new thing that's coming into her life that she found out about yesterday is help and support. And I think it might be, but I hope that that's what's happening and that it's not some other weird fucked up shit. I hope that it has something to do with getting her healthy. I don't give a fuck what she looks like. I don't give a fuck what her size on her dresses are. I don't give a fuck about any of that. I hope that whatever she's doing is helping her live so that I can shut the fuck up.
And you shouldn't be pressured to do so. Thank you. It sounds like the real issue isn't food. It's everything you've been dealing with mentally. Yes, Brian. Yes. Exactly. Yeah. Bro, I am just trying to stay alive. That's it. I've been incorrectly typecasted. And they're doing everything they can to make the rectangle that is me fit through with a triangle that has nothing to do with me. To the point that they make up shit often. So I'm just sticking to the plan. And I'm gonna take it as it comes and roll with the punches and keep doing me. Don't give them your attention. Don't give them your money. Don't give them your brain space. Don't give them the power to influence you by consuming their content. And being on both sides of the coin, I've learned a lot about just how much perspective alters reality. And when you're talking about creators who like talk about their life and actually talk about themselves versus creators who commentate or talk about other people or react to content they see online and their content inherently is not revolved around them, as on a creator aspect, your relationship with your content, your audience, in the internet in and of itself are very, very, very vastly different, you know?
So I'm going to address this just because I think this play is about me. So she's talking about creators and people who like react to her content. And it's true. I don't put my personal life on the internet. I don't talk about my private trauma. I honor those experiences by only sharing them with people I trust. So she has made a different choice in life and put those things on the internet, and everything is on the internet, everything is on display, and everything is content for her. So what happens to it then no longer belongs to her. And I don't think I don't agree. I don't think that that's a good thing, but I don't think that that's a thing that can be changed or stopped.
Whenever I hear about internet scandals and things like that now, I just have a completely different mindset and perspective. Because there are some things that I think are truly inexcusable. And there have been a few things in my past that I look back on and I go, yeah, actually that was inexcusable. And I wish I had seen it in the moment. And I didn't. But specifically for me, sitting here and like going through everything and seeing what I see in my comments that come through, or what pops up here and there online. Because now with the documentary, shit about me is popping up on my TikTok for you page, which I have never had that problem before because TikTok was always one of the few social media apps that I could go to and I know I wouldn't have to deal with this bullshit. And that's changing now, and that sucks. When it comes to Girl World, I'm the first person that's been like fully added in or like adopted in, whatever word you want to use, who like hasn't been around for a long time and who was once a Girl World viewer. you know, and seeing it on both sides, like I have an understanding now of both experiences, and I'm genuinely the only person who's ever experienced that. That's not a hyperbolic statement. Like, that's a fact. And seeing that, and then also understanding that a part of the reason I came to some of the conclusions that I did, like a year ago or so, was because I experienced the other side of the coin. And I wish I had been able to learn that lesson in a different way, with like my entire being, every fiber of my being. I wish I had been able to learn that a better way, in a way that didn't make me shitty. Because the only thing that I can do is continue to not spend my free time hating on others. I've responded to a few things here and there because of like the attention I've been getting from the docuseries and stuff. But like, I don't interact with the internet the same, and I haven't wavered on that, and I plan to keep that way. Created a fake images of my boyfriend with an ex, with a bunch of details that were completely made up, that had no sense of reality to them, to try to like cause drama between me and my boyfriend. They created this.
So she's talking about like all the difficult things that have happened to her since, you know, she's started to become more internet famous. And I wanted to address that I did make a video reacting to the Reddit post that was like bullshit, and I've privated it since, and I apologize for spreading what could be misinformation. I put allegedly all over it, but I don't know. I was like, a brand new channel, and I was excited, so I got a little too excited at that one. So I apologize for spreading any kind of misinformation for that.
When I was in Texas and my brother was here alone, they have sent countless unpaid DoorDash orders to my home. Once or twice I wasn't even live, but most of them have been on lives. They have sent strangers to my home by posting my address online, trying to incite someone else to try to break in again after someone did try to open our door, and we had to call the police. And I didn't verbally talk about that at all until the recent Real World video I made. I never talked about it when it happened weeks back, because I didn't want to feed into it, but I'm reaching a point where I feel like the silence gives them more room to cause me real harm, like real life harm. Because the post was telling people my property was abandoned. The post also said my parents were dead. So maybe that's related to what's happening today. I don't know. And saying that there was something valuable in the house that people could take from my abandoned property. And I have all the evidence. I mean, yes, that was probably my 5th call to the police now. So yeah, like, I'm not making this shit up.
So just a quick reminder, we don't go IRL around here. We don't go to her chats and mess with her. We just kind of watch her through this or reactors. And if you've gone IRL in the past, just don't do it again. And we'll be cool. We're all cool. Everybody's cool. Don't fuck with people. Making people feel unsafe is not super funny to me. So that's going to be it from me. Let me know what you guys think. I'm curious what you think about the poetry thing. The way that she reacted, the apeshit she went, just gave it away as far as I'm concerned. But that's going to be it from me. Please take care of yourselves, and I will see you all in the next one. Take care. Bye.
I was just in Vegas. We stayed at the Venetian. It was so gorgeous. I've never heard of that. That sounds fun.